Morning everybody, Silverbolt here, back for a Transformers review. Going to be doing Treadbolt, Micromaster. I'll get to why I'm doing that in a bit. But anyway, I'm doing this video on the Wednesday morning instead of the Thursday morning. Namely because I didn't get a chance to play a lot of War this week. I didn't get a chance to play it on Monday evening because I was talking to Dave and Andy, and yesterday evening I just never got around to doing it, and so I was thinking, I got up this morning and I walked with the dogs. I thought, I'm going to play War for a bit, and then I'm oohing and ahhing. Do I use my Shadow Master? Do I use my Shadow Warrior, or do I use my Sword Master? In the end, I settled for my Shadow Warrior. I load up the game. I'm all set to go do a public quest with my now level 20 Shadow Warrior, seeing as I deleted the old one. Because my Sword Master's level 26 now, but I deleted my old Shadow Warrior because it was frankly a very weak class, and I heard they were updating it, so I started doing a new one. But anyway, yes, logged on to my Shadow Warrior, my level 20 Shadow Warrior, very close to being level 21. I'm there logged on, I'm running forward to do a public quest, and I get a little pop-up. Service will be going down for maintenance. Please, in 5 minutes, please find a safe place to log out. I'm like, you bugger! I was looking forward to playing for a couple of hours, so I was rather peeved. So I thought, you know what, I'll do a Transformers review. But anyway, it is 3 weeks to Christmas. 3 weeks tomorrow, I believe, if I've got my dates right. Tomorrow is Thursday. Yes, it is. Tomorrow is Thursday, which is going to be really strange for you if you're watching this on Thursday, but there we go. So 3 weeks to Christmas. I have my Christmas tree up. You can't really tell because it's currently hiding behind a window. The Christmas tree has gone up. Unfortunately, I can't find the cable for it because, well, it's been in storage for the last year, and it's one of those fancy schmancy fibre optic jobs, and I can't find the cable for it, so there's no light sight, unfortunately. But Philly decorated it for me, did a fantastic job. I came home, it's like, oh. But anyway, going to be doing Treadbolt, and there is a secondary reason behind doing Treadbolt, because I like doing the little inconsequential characters as well, but it also allows me to discuss something that is a lot of contention amongst Transformers fans, and that is, of course, repaints. And I'll get to the repaints in a bit. Anyway, Treadbolt doesn't really do an awful lot. The only real information on him comes from his character bio, and frankly, he's a bit of a knob. He's a stealth specialist, and when he's not sneaking up with Decepticons, he likes, I suppose you could term it as practical jokes, because he basically likes to scare the crap out of his other teammates, of course, the Air Patrol. And he likes to give them the willies. He'll just show up in their quarters every now and then, which is it's quite disturbing in many in many regards, shape or form. And that's about all he does. As I said, it comes from his character bio. The only thing that he really does is in the IDW continuities, and Treadbolt is one of the Legions of the Dead universe Micromasters, who ends up chasing down Hardhead and Nightbeats on Gorlam Prime, and that's in the Spotlight Hardhead. Treadbolt manages to get to the time he's able to confront Hardhead with the Jahax's control. With the Jahax's control Nightbeats in the subterranean tunnels on Gorlam Prime, but he fails to stop the Autobot actually escaping. So that's about all Treadbolt actually does. Great, 30 seconds worth of information. Wealth of fountain of knowledge, Simon. But anyway, onto the toy of Treadbolt himself. Well, he's a little blue Micromaster, and he features the very, very standard Micromaster transformation sequence. You fold the wings back, you unfold the legs, and ba-da-da-da-dum, he's done. So there's not an awful lot concerning him. Released with the Air Patrol Micromaster 4-team set, because I think I said it in Micromasters, but the Micromasters were released usually in teams of 4, or when they released the connecting Micromasters, they were teams of 6. And his other teammates was Blazemaster, Eagle Eye, and Sky High. And that's really about it. I personally think he's, especially in his alt mode, he's quite a butt-ugly Micromaster. And he looks a bit like a shield. I also think in robot mode, if you leave his wings out, he bears a fairly sharp resemblance to Batman. even down to the two pronged ears at the top on his head. But anyway, right, Treadbolt got a repaint in, of course, the form of Classics Treadbolt. And this is, as I said, I'm going to be discussing repaints. Repaints have a lot of contention amongst the Transformers universe. Some people like them, but most people simply feel they are... There we go. Most people simply feel that it's Hasbro's way of A, being lazy, and B, milking Transformers fans for all they're worth. You know, because you do get the fans that just have to buy absolutely every little toy that comes out of Transformers. Doesn't matter whether it's good, whether it's bad, they have to buy it. I am one of the former, in that I don't like repaints as a rule. My hugest contention with the repaints would have to be what they did with the movie line, where you had endless repaints of Cybertron toys repainted into Earth-style figures, into Transformers the movie style figures, despite the fact they look absolutely nothing like the movie Transformers, but they are packaged under the movie toy line. God knows what we're going to bloody see come Revenge of the Fallen, but there we go. I have not purchased any of the movie repaint lines. In fact, I've actually got very few of the actual Transformers movie toy lines. The only one, because I can just reach it here, hiding behind my classic Galvatron, I bought was this one. And funnily enough, I can't remember the name of the actual Transformer. I want to say Scramble, but I can't, because all I can think of is pink face, pink face, pink face, pink face. And it's blatantly a redeco, even down to the early emo makeup underneath the eyes of GoBot's Crasher, that psychotic female loony bitch from the GoBot toy lines and the GoBot cartoons, who, the main thing I remember, that she had this really dodgy, high-pitched, squeaky, supposed to be scary laugh. So that's the only movie repaint I got, and mainly it's because I bought the Mirage toy of the Classics line and loved it, and so I went and bought this one as well, because it helps bolster out the Decepticon ranks, because the Decepticons in the Classics range, well, they're a bit outnumbered. Anyway, and I've just knocked over everything. Typical. Here's another example of repaints. Bit dusty because they're still in the boxes, because I haven't actually unpacked everything yet. Just pop that out. Well done. I haven't actually unpacked everything yet, so some of the things are still stuck in boxes because I haven't been able to get around to buying, you know, cabinets to display them. And it was when I was looking for the Micromaster version of Treadbolt that I came across these. Here we have toy number 1. Here we have toy number 2. The exact same toy. I can't even tell you the names of these guys. That's how many repaints. I actually think that there is at least 4 repaints of this toy, of this one toy. Because you've got Jetfire, you've got Sky Shadow, and these two. There might actually be a 5th. So as a rule, I am not a huge fan of repaints, because I am very much in the camp of it's Hasbro trying to milk as much money out of the Transformers fan base as possible. And the Universe line is notorious for having repaints, or you know, the Universe lines as in these guys, these smaller Transformers. It's notorious for the amount of repaints that it floods the market with. And as I said, as a rule, I am not a big fan. Which begs the question. So there we go. Plane mode of whoever this one is. I can't remember. I did know. I don't know now. Which begs the question, why would I buy Treadbolt? The reason I bought Treadbolt is because obviously he's a repaint of Classics Skyfire, Jetfire. However, treadbolts I display treadbolt like this. My Skyfire, however, I display like this. I don't put the big uber guns and cannons on him. I give him his very signature twin barrel blaster, but that's it. I don't actually. Wow, it's really bright and white. You can tell I'm shooting this early morning, can't you? So because I keep it like this, I felt that, and because I'm quite a big fan of the Skyfire toy, I felt, you know, it wouldn't hurt to get him like this and keep him displayed like this. And okay, yes, he looks like a Macross he looks like a cross between a Macross and a Gundam. But it is significantly different the way I keep them to actually warrant buying the repaint. But as a rule, I don't buy them. I certainly don't buy the Cybertron repaints. And I certainly don't go out of my way to buy 2 or 3 of every single character. One of the good examples of repaints. Hang on a second. Ooh, I'll show you this now actually while I'm here. Bear with me. Just grab them off my display. I should have done this before, but never mind. Right. We have Classic Sunstreaker. Sunstreaker will eventually, of course, get his own review. We have Classic Sunstreaker. And we have Classic Sideswipe. Yes, both of them in very heroic action poses. Though Sideswipe currently looks like he's waving. And aside from a head sculpt, a different head, these two brothers are essentially the same toy. They've got the same gun, they've got the same... What? Sideswipe's got some gunk on his trunk, on his bonnet, which I don't know where that's come from. Okay, I'll have to clean that off. But anyway. But because of the way they transform, though they're both Lamborghini Countachs, they are both the same toy, but because of the way that the toys have been designed to transform, they are in essence 2 different toys. Because if you take Sideswipe, turn his head round, fiddle with his arms. I'll just do this. I'm not going to be able to do it though. I'm going to have to do this very, very roughly. Fiddle with his arms a little. Let his arms fall out. Very roughly twist his legs round. I do realise I've got this completely the wrong way. And you've got the Sunstreaker toy. That's, I think, a very clever idea. Because aside from a head sculpt, of course, it's the exact same sort of toy. But because it transforms slightly differently, it does help slightly validate the whole repaints idea. And I've just pulled the arm off again. I hate the arms on these toys actually, because they're a nightmare to sort out which direction they're supposed to be in. But anyway, so it does help validate it with that regard. But yes, that's my opinion on the repaints. Usually they suck. Not really an awful lot I can say on them. Some people do buy repaints, as I said. They buy, to my mind anyway, stupid amounts of them. Stupid amounts of them. Random. My MP3 player just decided that it was going to go at me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Some people do decide they're going to buy ridiculous amounts of repaint. You know, they have to get every little toy that they can. As I said, I'm very much in the camp of it's a money-making idea. You know, instead of making a new toy, we'll just repaint it. And it's something that's been done since the G1 series. They did it primarily with the G2, which was... Some of them weren't even new toys, they were just repainted, like the aerial bots just got a blue repaint, the Constructicons just got a yellow repaint. And they've been doing it ever since. The Armada repaints, the Energon repaints, the Cybertron repaints. Did RID get a load of repaints? I don't actually know if RID got a load of repaints. Animated, he started to see the repaints. We have, of course, got the obligatory 4 or 5 versions of Starscream. And I've also seen Lugnut's got a new paint scheme, I do know that. Ultra Magnus has a new paint scheme. And the worst one I've seen has got to be Rescue Ratchet. The only thing that needs rescuing is that man's fashion sense, because he's bright yellow and it's disgusting. But anyway, that's my take done on, of course, treadbolt. And of course my view on repaints done. But for now, this is Silverbolt, with treadbolts and with randoms and various other ones, signing off saying au revoir, adios, auf Wiedersehen.